So we have a new moon, which is a reset of a new month, and this is at 9 degrees of Pisces. And if there was ever like a saying that I want to encapsulate this new moon, it's like 10 toes down. Have you heard that saying? I hear all the Gen Zers say 10 toes down, which also is like similar to standing on business. And also because Pisces rules the feet. But I really like this saying for this lunation because 10 toes down means that you have this deep knowing inside of you, this like conviction that no matter what you see in the environment or what this administration is doing or like the state of affairs, you believe so deeply in a future vision. I wrote down notes because right before I started filming, I was crying because it's a Pisces new moon. Like, we have to let shit go. Anyway, let me just show you the chart. There is a lot of Pisces in the sky at the time of this new moon. This is a stellium. And if you know anything about stelliums, you know that this concentrated energy is here for a reason. We have the moon, the sun, Saturn, Mercury, North Node, and Neptune. This new moon is technically not an eclipse, but it is co-present with the North Node. And this North Node is this collective call to accept the magical parts of your life. When you surrender to the unknown, you have faith that the divine's plan is better than your own. This is a call to release control and trust the process. And the South Node is in Virgo. And Virgos like to have a plan to mitigate any anxiety that comes up from the unknown. Virgos like to control their environment because that's their way of mitigating the unknown. But the call is coming from Pisces. The call is, the North Node, which is you have to surrender. You have to release control. This new moon is at 9 degrees, which is the first decan of Pisces, which is represented by the Eight of Cups in the tarot. And that's all about leaving something behind. And because this new moon will square Jupiter at 12 degrees of Gemini, Jupiter has finally moved a degree. This is indicating that something that you are planting, a seed, an intention, is going to require you to leave something behind, maybe accept something, forgive somebody, in order for you to expand, as indicated by Jupiter. I rewatched the movie Interstellar. It came out November of 2014, and there's so much symbolism there, especially when it comes to this new moon in Pisces, that I won't be able to delineate all of it. But basically, if you've never watched it, this is your warning. I'm going to have spoiler alerts, but I also recommend watching this because it will give you like a visual representation of everything I'm talking about. Matthew McConaughey is the captain of a spaceship, and he is bringing a team of astronauts out to space, and they are checking in on the group of astronauts that went out before to see like which planet could sustain life, like what planet were they going to colonize. Anne Hathaway, who's also on this ship with Matthew McConaughey, is the daughter of the guy that's like spearheading this whole thing, who is played by Michael Caine. Matthew McConaughey's character is very conflicted because he left his family behind to do this. He left behind his daughter Murph, who's like 10 at the time, and his son and his father-in-law back on Earth so that they could find this, potential planet that they can all move to. But because of time travel and how long it takes to get to even Saturn, and, some things go wrong, it's been like 23 years. So now on Earth time, Murph and his son are old now. They're like in their 30s. And Matthew McConaughey's character, it felt like an hour to him. So there are all these Piscean themes in this movie. And most people think of the ocean when they think of Pisces. I definitely think of space as well, because I don't know if you knew this, but NASA first tried to explore the ocean, and then they were like, hell no. Whatever they found down there, they were like, we need to go out into space. All throughout the movie, there's themes of sacrifice, like the original astronaut team that left not knowing if they would survive this trip on their planet, and also Matthew McConaughey having to leave his kids behind so that he could secure a planet essentially for their survival and humanity's survival. The clip I'm about to show you is towards the end of the movie when Matthew McConaughey accepts his fate that he will never go back to Earth to see his kids, and they're losing fuel because, I mean, they've been through a lot of shit. People have died. The mission didn't go the way it was planned, right? It's very Pisces, very mutable. And this is the moment where he's like 10 toes down. He's like, I'm going to fucking make this happen. He doesn't know how, right? He just has faith. And he has this conviction because he needs to guarantee that humanity survives.
Prepare to detach.
What? No! No! Cooper!
3.
Cooper, what are you doing?
Newton's third law. You gotta leave something behind.
You told me we had enough resources for both of us.
1.
We agreed, Amelia. 90%.
Don't.
It's so emotional. But did you catch what he said? He is referring to Newton's third law of motion, which is for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, which is basically the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. But he's saying that you need to leave something behind, meaning that they had to split up to go on their separate missions because they had to secure a future for humanity. Which in this case, again, the new moon, setting an intention, knowing you have to leave something behind in order for you to grow. Square Jupiter in Gemini, but ultimately it's going to be your choice. You have to choose something, you know? So there's like a bittersweetness to this lunation. There's a level of acceptance. There's a level of course, optimism. Jupiter is finally moving forward. But again, remember, 10 toes down. This is something that you deeply have to believe in order for it to grow 6 months from now in the fall during the lunar eclipse in Pisces. I love you so much. Bye.